Did you guys know that most of us in Iceland don't have family names? What?
What did he say?
It's true. I'll explain. So in the beginning, Iceland was founded by Norwegian Vikings. So we've always been under Norwegian influence. Whether it's the food that we eat, the clothes that we wear, or our names.
Say my name.
In the olden days, Vikings were named after their father's first name in a way to honor them, in a way. And you might have seen this stuff in movies and in TV shows. It was always like X, son of X. Not that X is a name. Would have been Ben, son of... You know what I'm saying. So it was X, son of X, or X, daughter of X. And that was always the way it was. Or it was...
Thor, Odin's son.
No, guys. Marvel. Any Marvel fans? No? Alright.
Nerd alert!
So this was always the way the Scandinavian people named their children. So through thousands of years, Scandinavian people said,
This is the way.
guys, Star Wars? Anyone? No? Alright. Anyway, so they did this for thousands of years until a certain time they all just sort of stopped. And they started turning their last names into regular sort of last names, like they do in other countries. So let's say you were Gunnar Andersen. Instead of naming your son X Gunnarsson, you just gave him your last name. So it was instead just X Andersson or Sen. And that was the way they started doing it. So basically they just stopped, and through generations their family names just traveled through generation from generation, like they do in the US, in the UK, and in other countries. So for example, there are a lot of Danish people that have had the family name Andersen through the years. For example, the very famous Dane Hausi Andersen, the creator of the Little Mermaid, for example. And then of course Joachim Andersen, player of Crystal Palace in the English Premier League. Guys, any fans? Anyway, so all the Scandinavian countries, they changed their way, but apparently they forgot to tell Iceland all about it.
Why didn't you let us know?
So we always just kept on going with the old way of doing things. So for example, my name is Dagur Lárusson. That basically means I am the son of Lárus. I am Lárus's son. If I was a girl, I'll be Lárus's dóttir or daughter. And my father's name is Lárus Karl Ingason, because his father's first name was Ingi, so in a possessive tense, he was Ingason. So I only share the very same last name with my one brother. My two sisters are Lárus dóttir. So Icelanders still do it the old way. Except, it's not all of us. I would say like 10% of the country, they do have family names like you guys have. But those names, they're like known. So if you were to tell me, you're from Iceland, but you don't do the regular naming thing, I could almost guess your last name in a few minutes time. I could be like, are you Thorensen? Are you Vium? Are you Skeving? Are you Havdal? Are you Melsted? And I could probably guess the right one. And it is interesting because me and my family, we could be one of those families that have family names because our roots are not 100% from Iceland. We're actually partly from the States. So you guys from the US, I'm one of y'all.
What did he say?
Nah, just kidding. Little joke. But anyway, how did this all come about? So in the Second World War, the US soldiers came here to protect Iceland from the war. When that happened, the Icelandic women were like, okay, who are these US soldier guys? New blood in town. And that sort of created a situation here in Iceland with the Icelandic women and the US soldiers. And that whole situation is known in our history books as the situation because it happened a lot. And one of those Icelandic women was my great-grandmother, and one of those US soldier guys was my great-grandfather. So they met up and had a situation of their own. So they dated for a bit, but then he had to leave because he was gonna take part in D-Day. So he went for D-Day, and then a few months later my grandfather was born and he was named after him. His name is Jack Dolly. And my grandfather, Jack Dolly, spent a few years when he was an adult to try to find his dad in the States by sending postcards. And to finally, when he was about 40, 50 years old, he sent it to the correct place and my great-grandfather got it in the mail. So he took the first plane back to Iceland to meet his son at the airport. And that was televised here in Iceland and made like a TV program about it. They were brought to this TV studio where the host was asking them questions about this, and they looked exactly the same, but they talk very differently. So they first talked to my grandfather about this, and he talked with this very strong Icelandic accent. This is a very good day for me to find my dad. He is from California. in the States. But then they switched to my great-grandfather. He said like, this is one of the best days of my life to find my son here in Iceland.
What did he say?
So two guys looking exactly the same but talking very differently. But this is why me and my family, we could be one of those families that have family names because we could take up his family name, which is Dolly. So my name could be Dagur Dolly. But I could also have it like Dagur Lárusson Dolly. We just haven't done it officially, except for my grandfather. There it is, guys. Now you know about the whole naming system here in Iceland, the way we are named, and also a bit about my family history. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Dagur or Dave from Wake Up Reykjavik. If you guys are coming to Iceland and looking for stuff to do, we here at Wake Up Reykjavik specialize in small group experiences. For example, our very popular Reykjavik food walk, where I am actually a guide, so you might see me. You can check that out and some other stuff in the description below. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.